Welcome to everybody. This is a pretty unique facility that the conference is being held in. As Ramesh says, back in 2000, the governor of California, Gray Davis, asked the president of the University of California, Dick Atkinson, to host a contest, basically a call for proposals across the 10 UC campuses for ways to, what I like to say, put the uni back in the versity. So we put together a proposal. Actually, I came from the University of Illinois and was asked by the chancellor and dean of engineering to help pull together a highly cross-disciplinary team, which in the end pulled scholars from about all 24 of the departments on not only this campus at UCSD, but also at UC Irvine, where I will be going tomorrow because Ramesh Rao, who is the director of the UCSD division of CalIT2, has a partner, G.P. Lee, who has headed the Irvine Center for a long time, and he's retiring tomorrow. I formally retired as founding director of CalIT2 5 years ago, and I'm failing retirement continuously. But one of the, if I look back over the 20 years, 25 years of CalIT2, Tom Levy and his ability to come to take advantage of this system, to go from being what he called dirt archaeologist to one of the leading cyber-archaeologists on the planet, and helped actually, I think, transform the whole field into cyber-archaeology by his example in all the expeditions. But he was able to come here and ask, what would it take to be able to essentially digitize all aspects of what archaeology does? And that was profound because, you know, as Tom taught me, as you dig down, you destroy the site that you're excavating. But if you've digitally taken all of that data, you can not only reconstruct it, you can create virtual realities of the sort you're going to see next door of that site. And because of the internet, that can be shared with colleagues all over the world who would never be able to go to that site. So it was quite a profound shift. As digital technologies come into any field, there is a transformation of the field. Tom then helped set up this Center for Cyber-Archaeology and Sustainability, CCAS, in the Qualcomm Institute. And this then provided a sort of a home for the people, like Ramesh was saying, from engineering, computer science, the building next door, natural sciences, to collaborate on an ongoing basis. And this really created a new science, essentially, of enabling digital preservation and sharing of endangered cultural sites around the Eastern Mediterranean. This EXODUS2 Conference is one of the most highly transdisciplinary conferences we host. And it is the paradigmatic example of what this institute was set up to enable. So I really thank Tom again for bringing that. And then Neil Smith, as Ramesh was saying, has really taken a lot of the virtual reality and systems beyond where we had it earlier and developed it in archaeology. And you'll see some beautiful examples that Neil and his team have developed at the demonstrations. Now, the thing, I'm a physicist and computer scientist most of my career. The things that I really think about is the EXODUS2 Conference is bringing together this digital, data-driven collection of the geographic, geophysical, atmospheric, marine sciences, even biological sciences. And in that digital framework, you have a new capability for evaluating the textual, religious, historic, ethnocultural analysis of very powerful human narratives. That's new. And it's really going to change everything, as we see with artificial intelligence coming as well. I just wanted to reflect on the fact that I have spent a good fraction of my 77 years fascinated with this. 55 years ago, as a young grad student, I made a personal pilgrimage to Greece and then Piraeus by boat, a very stormy boat, to Santorini to just personally understand how apocalyptic the caldera collapse and the prior events of that volcanic eruption, the most powerful thing in human history and in the Eastern Mediterranean, what it could have done. And it's hard not to think about the Exodus, because if you think about the pillar of fire coming out of the volcano before the eruption, the smoke and everything else, many of the plagues are actually, you can imagine, being caused by the life cycle of a volcano that's about to implode. And then, of course, the tsunami followed that would have changed all of the water courses. Whether that actually is what was involved is, of course, what this new digital environment can help us understand better. In the first of the Exodus conferences that we had back in 2013, right here in this auditorium, and with these new virtual reality things, of course, the document is amazing set of papers that were given at that Transdisciplinary Conference on the Exodus. The Thera hypothesis was one of the main topics that was looked at in 2013, and it is going to be again in virtual reality here examined. And I sort of reflect on it. It's been half a century since I got on the donkey and went up the switchbacks of the sheer wall of the caldera, 600 or 700 feet to the top. A memory you can't forget. And that's the idea, that these unique things that happen on Earth implant themselves in my memory, but also in the collective human memory. And those threads, of course, are put together with a lot of other things to create our large-scale myths and stories in history, religion, and so forth. So I just want to complete my remarks by saying that one of the things I urge all of you to do is make friends with AI. You know, I'm using it now in my own research on dark matter and the universe and the human gut microbiome dynamics and so forth. It's a new world. And I know you hear this all the time, but particularly for you, this provides you a new research assistant in this digitally transformed world in which all of the modern and ancient languages and their literatures are in there. All of the geophysics, all of the history of all of the sciences are in there. And you can ask very complex questions. And you have something that has all human knowledge that is digitally available, and it will come back to you in a few minutes. And it'll give you the original references if you use the right versions of the AIs. So I suspect that we're going to hear a number of hypotheses about the Exodus in this next few days. And my guess is by Exodus 3, many of those hypotheses will either have been falsified or verified through the use of this new technology. Tom, thanks for your leadership.
Great.